Sisi marks July 23rd revolution anniversary with praise for resilience and progress. Prime Minister Madbouli reaffirms Egypt's steadfast support for Palestine and urges Gaza ceasefire. UK to elevate ties with Egypt to strategic partnership during Starmer's Cairo visit. President Sisi marks July 23rd revolution anniversary with praise for resilience and progress. Prime Minister Madbouli reaffirms Egypt's steadfast support for Palestine and urges Gaza ceasefire. The UK to elevate ties with Egypt to strategic partnership during Starmer's Cairo visit. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has addressed the nation on the 73rd anniversary of the July 23rd revolution, praising national progress and resilience. In his televised address, President al-Sisi hailed the achievements of the Egyptian people since the 1952 revolution, emphasizing efforts since 2014 to build a modern and inclusive state. He cited key success in counter-terrorism, infrastructure and urban development, and highlighted the Decent Life initiative for improving rural living standards. President Sisi reaffirmed Egypt's role as a pillar of stability in the region facing ongoing turmoil. On the 73rd anniversary of the July 23rd revolution, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi paid tribute to the sacrifices of the revolution's heroes and their vision for Egypt's development, dignity and independence. On a post on Facebook, he reaffirmed the nation's commitment to advancing Egypt's regional and international status, pledging to continue the path towards progress and prosperity. The president extended his wishes for Egypt's safety and success on this historical day. Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has reaffirmed Cairo's unwavering support for the Palestinian cause, stressing the urgency of reaching a ceasefire in Gaza and delivering humanitarian aid. He called for practical steps towards implementing the two-state solution and backed a clear political path to achieve lasting peace in the Middle East. Madbouli also firmly rejected any displacement of Palestinians, denouncing it as a violation of international law. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati has met with Niger's Foreign Minister Bakari Yao Sangare in Niamey to strengthen bilateral relations. They stressed historic ties and agreed to boost cooperation in trade, investment, agriculture, energy, health and education. Abdelati led a business delegation to explore opportunities and expand Egypt's presence in West Africa. Security cooperation against terrorism and extremism was also a key focus, with Egypt offering expertise and expanding educational exchanges via Al-Azhar and the Conflict Resolution Center. The meeting ended with a memorandum of understanding to establish a political consultation mechanism for closer coordination and stronger Egypt-Niger ties. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati launched the first Egyptian-Nigerian Business Forum in Niamey, joined by Niger's foreign and trade ministers. The forum featured 30 leading Egyptian companies from sectors like agriculture, infrastructure, mining and renewable energy. Abdelati highlighted strong historic ties and Egypt's expertise, urging partnerships based on trust. Niger praised Egypt's commitment to deepening economic cooperation. The event followed talks to boost trade, investment and bilateral relations. Burkina Faso has officially announced its support for Egypt's Dr. Khalid El-Anani in his bid to become Director General of UNESCO. The announcement was made by Foreign Minister Karamoko Jean-Marie Traoré during a joint press conference with Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati. Traoré praised El-Anani's qualifications and vision, noting that his candidacy reflects African priorities and deserves broad international support. He added that Burkina Faso's endorsement highlights the strong ties with Egypt and its commitment to African representation in global leadership roles. And the UK has committed to upgrading its ties with Egypt to a strategic partnership during Prime Minister Keir Starmer's visit to Cairo this autumn. The partnership will focus on trade, investment, irregular immigration, regional security and the Gaza humanitarian crisis. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Starmer will co-chair an investment conference to boost business collaboration. UK-Egypt trade reached £4.8 billion in 2024, with both countries emphasizing cooperation on Middle East stability and migration. Egypt is boosting regional economic ties as Minister of Industry and Transport Kamel El-Wazir leads a delegation to Kuwait to promote development projects. The delegation, including heads of 70 major Egyptian firms, is targeting opportunities in infrastructure, energy, transport and housing amid Kuwait's accelerated investment plans. Talks focused on road and port projects, renewable energy, urban development and industrial cooperation. Egypt also proposed joint industrial zones and vocational training programs to strengthen partnership with Kuwait. Minister of Local Development Manal Awad has met with Suhail El-Abd, Director of International Strategies at US-based geospatial firm ISRI, to discuss expanding GIS technology use in Egypt's urban planning and climate resilience efforts. The talks focused on applying GIS tools for monitoring spatial changes, disaster early warnings and climate adaptation, especially in vulnerable coastal cities. Both sides agreed that ISRI will send a delegation to Cairo to draft a cooperation protocol to integrate advanced geospatial solutions into Egypt's sustainable development plans. Egypt's Cabinet Media Center has denied claims that now water is being used to fill the artificial lakes in downtown Lagoon project in New Alamein, confirming that only desalinated seawater is used. The 11-lake project is part of a broader North Coast development plan aimed at promoting tourism and urban growth. Trial filling of the largest lake has begun to test the sealing system. The project also includes recreational promenades, islands, EV lanes and hospitality facilities. Egypt's Higher Education Minister has congratulated Ain Shams engineering students for their top wins at the UK's Formula Student Competition. Egypt's Higher Education Minister Ayman Ashur has congratulated the Ain Shams University engineering racing team for their outstanding performance at the Formula Student Competition held in the United Kingdom. The team secured first place in the simulation category for autonomous race cars using artificial intelligence, third place in electric car design, and 5th overall in the autonomous vehicles category. Competing against the leading British universities, the Egyptian team demonstrated technical excellence and innovation. Minister Ashour said that the achievement reflects the capabilities of Egyptian students on the global stage and aligns with Egypt's Higher Education Strategy 2030, focused on promoting innovation, improving educational quality, and enhancing students' applied skills. The minister also praised the continued participation of Ain Shams students in their prestigious event since 2012. And Cairo University is set to host its first international conference on artificial intelligence this October under the patronage of Egypt's Higher Education Minister. Cairo University will hold its first international conference on artificial intelligence, AI Nexus 2025, on October 18th and 19th under the patronage of Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Ayman Ashour. The event marks 1 year since the university launched the region's first AI strategy aimed at integrating education, research, and innovation with digital transformation and sustainable development. University President Dr. Mohammed Sami Abdel Sadiq said that the conference will serve as a national and international platform, bringing together academics, experts, policymakers, and entrepreneurs to explore the latest AI applications. It will also promote cooperation across academia, industry, and government in key sectors such as health, education, industry, and public administration. The agenda includes topics ranging from AI in social sciences, medicine, engineering, and humanities to entrepreneurship, education, and capacity building. Egyptian students have achieved a 79.2% success rate in the 2024-2025 Thanawiyya Amma exams. The Ministry of Education announced out of 728,892 exam takers, 574,347 passed, with the science branch showing the highest success. Students are now preparing to apply to universities, adjusting goals based on their results. Labour Minister Mohammed Gobran urged graduates to focus on in-demand fields like technology and medicine. Education reforms continue with a new critical thinking focused set to replace Thanawiyya Amma starting next year. Egyptian remittances surged to $32.8 billion from July to May in the 2024-2025 fiscal year, marking a 69.6% increase compared to $19.4 billion in the same period last year. According to the Central Bank of Egypt, from January to May 2025, remittances rose 59% year-on-year to $15.8 billion. In May alone, remittances hit a record $3.4 billion, a 24.2% increase compared to May 2024, marking the highest flow ever recorded for that month. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has affirmed the government's commitment to sustaining a downward trend in external debt while boosting foreign investment to tap into new opportunities across various sectors during a cabinet meeting on July the 22nd, 2025, attended by the central bank governor and the finance officials. Measures to reduce public debt to GDP ratio were reviewed. Discussions focus on managing external debt, diversifying investors' currencies and markets, and balancing investment spending with lowering reliance on foreign loans. The meeting also emphasized strengthening private sector partnerships to support economic growth. The Egyptian Meteorological Authority has predicted a heat wave will sweep across Egypt. Extremely hot and humid weather will prevail during the day nationwide, while North Coast experience hot and humid weather. The weather will seem hotter due to the high humidity levels, which will push up the heat index 2 to 4 degrees. The country will also witness mist on agricultural and highway roads from the north of the country to Cairo. Alexandria is now battling a growing crisis as rising sea levels and coastal erosion threaten its historic buildings. The Mediterranean's warming waters are causing the coastline to recede by an average of 3.5 meters a year, undermining foundations and causing around 40 buildings to collapse annually, up sharply from just a decade ago. Experts warn the crisis is a stark example of climate change immediate effects as the city's population swells and the risks to homes and infrastructure grows. And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin, and here is what we have been covering. President Sisi marks July 23rd revolution anniversary with praise for resilience and progress. Prime Minister Madbouli reaffirms Egypt's steadfast support for Palestine and urges Gaza ceasefire. The UK to elevate ties with Egypt to strategic partnership during Starmer's Cairo visit. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our bulletin. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. I'm Hala Al-Hamalawi. Thank you for watching.